First speaker for today, Mr. Slattery. Mike has been an insurance agent with Farmers Insurance for over 20 years and has really enjoyed the journey. The most gratifying part of the business is the sales of commercial insurance. Mike likes the fact that each prospect in commercial insurance is different, with different needs and situations that need protection. Today, Mike will be training a group of newbies, our Toastmaster audience, how to get in front of a commercial prospect. This morning's speech is 12 to 15 minutes long. It is a book speech from the Professional Speaker Manual. The title of his speech is Sales Training Party 1. Please help me welcome Mr. Mike Slattery.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And welcome to part 1 of MS Commercial Sales Training course. Now, we are here today to learn the beginning techniques of selling commercial insurance, or what most people may call business insurance. Mainly today is part 1. We're going to be talking about how do you find prospects so that you can get in front of them and speak to them about purchasing your product, your insurance. Now, a lot of you, being newbies, may feel that commercial insurance is complicated and in some cases problematic. It really isn't. It's really easy once you begin to understand. But the key is you have to devote yourself to the business and what you're going to do to make whatever your goals are. Winston Churchill once said, "Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm." You see, enthusiasm is the fuel that's going to power you to get to where you want to be. So no matter what happens, keep your enthusiasm, keep it up, and make it work for you. Okay, where do we begin? We begin with your motives. What motivates you? Where do you feel at this time you want to be a year, maybe 2, maybe 3 from now? I want you to go ahead and write that down. Just feel financially where you want to be. You see, the answer is something that I can't give you. I can give you what mine is, but not yours. Because once you find out what you want, and you know that that is what's going to motivate you to go to work, that's the key. Enthusiasm. So, your enthusiasm will bring you commissions more so than you probably ever thought, because in commercial insurance, that has the highest rate. It also has the highest retaining rate, which means that your client isn't going to every 6 months change or look, because your enthusiasm brings that to them, that you know you're there for them. That's what commercial insurance is all about. So this morning I'm going to give you some tools to get there. And if you'll notice, rather blatantly, you have no brochures and you have no handouts. And the reason I do that is on purpose, because what I say, I want you to hear. And if you're looking at a brochure that I hand you or a handout, you may not hear something that's very important to how you're going to become successful. That's why I have none. So if you hear something that I say that you feel is important for your success in commercial insurance, don't be afraid. Write it down. Write it down. Now, some of the stumbling blocks in selling commercial insurance is understanding the product. because each business is unique, and if you understand the insurance product for that client, then you'll know that you have him covered properly. So you're going to have to do some studying. What do you have to do first, though, before you begin anything? You have to find out what your target market is. You see, if you go out and walk through all of the malls or all of the strip malls and try to sell every one of the businesses there, you're scattering yourself and your chances are not real good to sell a specific type of business. The target market from my perspective for you is what we call a natural market. A natural market. For example, Bob Anderson, an attorney. So I don't think Bob Anderson would go after a pet store. He would feel much more comfortable selling or talking with other attorneys. In my particular case, I spent 30 years as a body man, an estimator, and in some cases a manager of body shops. So my natural market would be body shops, auto repair shops, how about auto parts stores? All of those products, those businesses are something that is familiar to me. So if I talk to a client and he says, gee, I have a real problem with ABC Insurance Company because they aren't paying me properly, I understand that. I know what that means. So as an agent, if that happens to be the question, I can say what I have to offer. So to me, I think the first thing you as insurance agents have to know is what is my natural market? Who can I talk to that I understand their business? Well, let's say, gee, I've been a housewife all my life. And now I want to get out into the market. I want to get in, I want to make some money. I want to feel important. I want to use perhaps my education that I never had before. That being true, find something that you feel passionate about. Find a business. Maybe you like to cook. Take a look and see what the market is for bakeries or restaurants. That way you will know that business. And knowing that business is what's going to make you successful, along with, of course, your enthusiasm. So the key is find the market first before you decide to do anything. And then research it a little. Find out if that's something that you feel comfortable about talking to someone. That's the market you want to get. So, once I find my natural market, once I find a market that I feel I can talk to, where do I go to get prospects? Where do I go to find people that are in the restaurant business, the automotive repair business, the attorney business, whatever it might be? Where you go to find prospects is really quite easy. It's called the internet. You can go to the internet and there are hundreds of businesses out there that sell leads. They will sell you a lead. They all have programs. It's going to cost you some money. So getting into the insurance business, I want to let you know you're going to have to spend a little money. But if you find a lead company that specializes or can help you get in front of a client, that's the company you want to use. Well, Mike, how do I find out who this is? I hate to say it, trial and error. You have to find a lead company that will sell you leads that when they sell them to you, you can work them. Because if you can't work them, you're out of business. The internet, that's one place. There's another place that I use all the time. It's called the library. When was the last time someone went to a library? It's called Reference USA. It's in the computer. It's your library. You need a library card for the particular library near where you are. For example, I live up in Mission Grove, so I have a library card for the Mission Grove Library. You go in there to Reference USA, find your market, the market you want, and it will tell you within whatever area you want to prospect, the natural market that you have. It tells you the company that they have, the company has, that you're looking up, has workers' comp, who their insurance is, what their annual receipts are, the owner's name. It gives all of that information that you can have. And that information is very important, because if you're going to talk to an owner, you're going to be more knowledgeable than somebody just knocking on the door. You have it right there. Reference USA at your library, great place for prospects. Okay, Mike, I use that. What do I do now? What you do now is you get at least 100 leads, maybe 150. I don't know what any of your closing ratios are, but the key is you need a lot. And what I'm going to tell you is the way to take those prospects, if you can picture this, into a funnel, and what comes out at the bottom is someone, a prospect that you can that you can get in front of and talk about their insurance program. So how do I do that? Well, you get the leads. Now you have to become a business person. You need to hire a solicitor, somebody that gets on the phone. Now, I understand with the rules and regulations that we have right now about calling people on the phone, businesses are not on the do not call list. Now, I want to let you know why. If I owned a bakery and somebody wanted to call in and buy a cake, if I was on a do not call list, why would I be there when I want someone to come and call me? So a solicitor that you have is the one who is going to get you an appointment. That's all you want. You don't want that solicitor to sell insurance. That's what you do. A solicitor gets on the phone and gets you an appointment. Oh, that sounds great, Mike. Where do I go now? Well, to find solicitors, what we use are the colleges. There are, I believe, 5 colleges here in the Riverside area, maybe more. And the big ones have a theatrical department. So go to the theatrical department, talk to the head of the department, and find someone who is a good actor. Because if they are a good actor, that means they don't have a problem standing in front of an audience and talking or memorizing a program or a script. That's what they do. That's what they want to do. So now, instead of being on a stage and getting paid nothing, they come to work for you, and now they're going to get paid something for their skill. Also, when you look for a solicitor, my suggestion is find someone that's bilingual. And also find someone that has a pleasant voice. So when they're on the phone and the other person that they're talking to and trying to get information from doesn't feel offended. And the best, my opinion, find an actor or an actress. I guess everybody's called an actor now, right? It's gender neutral. That's who you want to get. And once you get that person, you have to give them a script. And that script is something that they have to put into their, it's your words, but they have to put it into their own belief. So when they talk on the phone and they get you an appointment, that's what you want. Nothing else. They're not there to sell insurance. They're there to get you an appointment. Do I have any questions so far? Because this is part one. Part two will be the next seminar we'd like to see you at, and we will talk about how you close the sale. Any questions? I hear none. Mr. Toastmasters, thank you.